and now the left is pushing this narrative that if Trump wins, he's gonna go after everybody and seek revenge. You mean do what you're doing right now?
Well,
you set the rules. Yeah, he's gonna play by those. There's no way. I don't care what he says right now. There's no way that if Trump wins, he's not going to be seeking some vengeance. There's no way.
And I think he should within the law, and I think he will. I think what people do not realize is he let the Hillary thing go.
Yeah.
And he let the Hillary thing go to unite the country. And I get why he did it. Like I get why he did it. He wanted to pour grease on the fire.
Yeah.
You know, I get it.
It's like we're playing a ball game and the two different teams have totally different set of rules.
Oh yeah.
And that's the problem.
Yeah. One team has holding on offense and the other team has no holding on offense.
And that's why, when he did start running and started talking the way he was talking, that's why so many people were drawn to him from the right. Because finally there was somebody they thought was going to give it back to them the way they've been giving it to us.
Yeah.
Because every other Republican, should they win or even during campaigning, they always take the high road. That's why they don't win, because you always take the high road and you don't say the things you need to say and the people need to hear. And he did. And that's why he has the cult following that they talk about, because finally there's somebody that people know on this side that is going to speak up and say the things that need to be said. Does everything he says, is it always in the best? Like he just did a tweet and I was like, I agree with you 100%. But sometimes, and here's one thing this is one thing I know he needs to do. Stop making the fat jokes, because as much as I love Trump, you ain't slender, bro. You're getting a little round in the middle too. So stop ripping off fat people when you're getting a little fatty yourself.
Anytime they call Chris Christie cheeks, we're all going to laugh. I don't care who it is.
Oh, but the person he was just making fun of, I forget who it was. It was a governor. And he was calling him fat, which the guy's probably fat. But he said this guy makes Chris Christie look like a male model. I was like, oh man. And I'm laughing, but I'm like, this is exactly the stuff that of course, the left and then the moderates, the fence sitters that can't decide what they want in life are going to be like, see, this is why I don't like him. He's so mean. And I'm like, yeah, he kind of is, but.
It kind of is.
That's why I like him.
You know what's crazier about that is I don't think he's as off the cuff as people think. I think he's very calculated with what he says in his own little plan there.
Maybe in his head.
I don't. Yeah. I think he went up to a podium planning to make that joke. I don't think that was just.
That wasn't a podium though. That was online.
Well, I mean, wherever that was online. Yeah, I didn't see it. I
don't know. I just saw it today.
Oh yeah.
But
I wish he wouldn't do that stuff. But I mean, at this point, you can't say that he's not presidential. It's look at, what we've got right now that,
if that's somebody's argument, I mean, it's not presidential to shit your pants in public either, but I mean, the left is completely cool with it.
That's a deep fake. That's a deep
today?
fake.
Is today the 15th?
Today is the 17th.
17th.
Yeah.
So ironically, I was just reading something. He's apparently signed something. He made the 15th like Elder Abuse Awareness Day or something like that.
Oh,
yeah. And the comments on the internet were hilarious. Like people were like, "I feel like this is a cry for help." Yeah, you think?
Well, I mean, let's be honest. It is elder abuse. I mean, this guy shouldn't be sitting in an Oval Office, and to boot, they want to put him there for 4 more years.
I don't see how he survives 4 more years.
I don't see how we're going to have a debate.
Like either he just drops dead of, natural causes or he's so far gone, they're not going to be able to keep
they're going to
drag him out. They're going to do that, which I think they're scared to death of that too, though, because as much as people say what is that? What is it?
I forget what amendment that is.
It's some amendment, right? So, but they could pull him because he's not capable or whatever. Yeah. Well, it's ironically, they just said not just said, but they said just a little while ago he's unfit to stand trial. But he's fit enough.
If he's unfit to stand trial, how is he fit enough?
Make it make sense
to run.
Make it make sense. But I don't believe that the Democrats, that party as a whole, like Kamala.
No, I don't think.
I don't think they're all this confident. Like,
no.
There's this conspiracy theories that okay, he runs again, and then they pull him. She gets to serve the 4 years if it happens early, but then she can still run twice.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't think the Democrat Party as a whole wants her to run twice. I think they used her, to get the minority votes in there and make it feel like they're, diverse and all that. But I don't think she makes AOC look smart.
I mean, are they diverse though?
Are they diverse?
Have you seen these fundraisers? Have you seen what they're doing? You see where their money comes. We see where their money comes from, like where their support goes. Are they diverse?
Yeah, no. Are there more minority congressmen and senators that are Democrats than Republican? Probably, but I still feel like there's diversity on the right as well. I mean, look at what this one who's Tim Scott. I mean, he's a possible candidate as vice president, which is what I think they should do.
Yeah.
I think that's what Trump should do, because you need to put your money where your mouth is and stop letting these people say that, A, you're a racist, B, the Republican Party's racist, and finally put someone up there and have an African-American run as vice president. And maybe that does some uniting.
It could be Scott. I think Scott would be good. Is he the guy from Florida? Who's the guy from Florida I'm thinking of?
No. Florida's Rubio, isn't he?
No, this is another senator from Florida. I'll look him up in just a minute. I just want to touch back 25th Amendment. They can remove the president. So, and they just put that in like not long ago. So, no, I think Scott would be good.
Well, I just saw something today that was polling numbers that showed what effect on the polls. They had like 5 different potential vice presidents for Trump and what effect on the polls it would have. And the only one that was actually a positive was Tim Scott.
Byron Donalds. He's still a little young, but
I
like Byron Donalds.
So Tim Scott was like a +7 for polling. Yeah. And then there was someone, maybe it was Rubio, who was like a 0. And I think even Tulsi Gabbard was like a 0. And then they had like Kristi Noem, who was like they said it would be like a -7 in the polls. I guess it's just she's too conservative for, trying to get the minority vote and things like that.
It's like Margie Taylor.
So she was like, she wasn't on there, but she would be I love her, but she would be a huge negative.
I think we need Margie right where she is.
Yeah.
I would love in my lifetime to see Margie be speaker. I mean, that would be.
Yeah, I don't see what any Republican would not like about Kristi Noem, though. I really don't. I mean, that state is running like a well-oiled machine.
I think
they've got a surplus. They have freedom.
I feel like just like Trump, I think she scares people a little bit.
Maybe.
I think she scares people a little bit. I agree.
Because she's all about the Constitution.
She is all about the Constitution. She is about, she is about the basis of the country, and that's how she runs South Dakota.
Speaking of that, how about Trump floating the doing away with federal income tax?
So it's and they just came out today. I forget the guy who came out today and said that it could work, but the other thing that they're floating, which I think is a genius campaign thing to float, although I think it's kind of like is no tax on tips.
On the tips, yeah.
No tax on tips, because let's be honest, they don't get a lot of that claimed anyway. So they're probably,
which to me is why are you even, you're not getting an honest number to begin with.
Right. But with credit cards and stuff, they are able to claim that, because that stuff is getting reported. So they're getting a piece of it. They're getting more of it than they used to. But I think that is, because that is, for people who, we were talking about this earlier before we came on, the middle class, for the people in the middle class, those middle class people, they are that second job as a server, first job as a server, 2 jobs as a server. Those guys driving Uber, my old man supplemented his income with Uber, and people, they tip Uber. So, and that's all like digital. So you can never not claim that. Right. Yeah. So there are so many things that people do, so many jobs in society that are, tip based, and those are people that are working their ass off, man.
Yeah. Some of them.
Well, some of them, right? So, obviously, there's exceptions to every rule, but as a whole, I think I think
eat out a lot. I think in that field, it's probably 50-50. I don't want to give them too much credit because.
But regardless, they're not rich. They're trying to make ends meet. You know what I mean?
But I don't even understand why, how there's a job like that where they're basically relying on tips. Like, why are the restaurants? Why are they not paying them a wage?
Why is it
like a legitimate wage? Not like this.
Why is it not like Europe? Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't get it. It's weird.
Yeah, it's how it's always been. I don't know. Not involved in it, but
I mean that's what they said during slavery too. So I mean, it's always been that way. I don't know, but
I mean, still, but I think a genius campaign thing to do. It does say like, hey, we're here to help the middle class. Do I think it's all that financially impactful for the country? Probably not. But I
don't care. There's so many things that can be cut.
But the Dems' whole thing was we're for middle class because we're going to, we're going to raise the minimum wage, and literally by raising the minimum wage, all they did was put people out of work.
All they did was drive unemployment up. I mean, it's
all they did was put people out of work.